I think the short-term goal with legs is to not get a re-injury. But while also trying to progress, I think in the not so distant future, my best squat was like high eights, like 860 or 870 if I can't really remember. So, I from talking to John after he competed in April, the goal was originally to see about squatting 1,000 pounds. It seemed like an absurd number. We got off like about a year, just over a year of solid training, but primarily based around deadlifting, deadlifting accessories. And then the squat was essentially more of a secondary movement. If we did squats, we did safety squat bar or some variation of lunges and that sort of deal, or leg press, obviously leg extension. So coming into this spring, it was shoot for 1,000 pounds, but it's been a rough 3 or 4 months, I would say. So now the goal is bite-sized pieces, new PR, 880, 400 kilos. I think that's a digestible goal, and progress into 900, 950, 1,000 pounds. The goal is to do it by next March. Hit all these little steps. So, but it's not without its issues. I'm dealing with some significant knee pain. I did got some stem cells in both my knees, and now they're feeling a little better. Now it's lower back pain. I think that it's trying to hit a massive PR, and it's not a huge weight PR. We're talking about a 20, then 950 would be a 70 pound, and then essentially 140 pound PR. I mean, it's a big number, but when you really look at it, it's percentages.
Mm-hmm.
But doing it and having been retired for a significant amount of time, I think it's a mind fuck, to say the least. And it's a really difficult thing to embark on, as a full-time cop, and full-time dad, and a full-time college student, training with a training partner, and trying, as much as that helps, it's also it kind of beats me up a little bit too, because it's like maybe I'm making decisions that I normally wouldn't make, to the point where now my back's probably been the worst it's been in a while, but it's also been the healthiest. It's a weird, it's life, it's like my knees feel amazing, but my back is just killing me, and it's like I would have killed a year ago to be in this position where I'm squatting my leg extensions like nothing. It used to kill me. Now it's like joke, but now my back kills me. So I think it's anyone that thinks like they see a lifter, especially as they get a little older, think that's easy. There, it's the mental game is far more difficult than the physical. Well, John and I thought a year was adequate.
I think it still is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. I can't even, as time progresses, I look back and I don't ever rule myself out. It's just the set of challenges at 42 is significantly different than 32.
I mean, physically it's there. I think for Derek, physically it's there, but the adjustment was you haven't trained for something like this in, like you said, about a decade, right? So when he came in, I think he had the mindset of I'm still 30. I haven't torn 2 quads. I haven't torn my bicep. I haven't crushed a couple discs. If you look through the rap sheet, and then I think it's just adjusting that expectation of training. When he jumped under that bar and would have gotten 800 pounds in the first week. I think he would have. So I think it's adjusting that training mentality. Physically he did it.
Well, and that's the thing is I was never known. I think I was intellectual in my approach to lifting, but but it wasn't. I want to call it intellectual, more psychological. My training was always just shock and awe, but not like a 5-year-old toddler, like in a daycare, playing with all the toys and eating crayons and paste. Not like that shock and awe. Just like just someone that comes in and with a subdued amount of energy that is palatable. Like you can. I'm not yelling, screaming, but it's just it's just like my stepson said it best. I remember a year or so ago, I get under whatever 700 pounds and banging out a couple reps, and he was just like, "Are you okay?" But he didn't mean it like physically. It was just like, I think for him, he just didn't know what he just saw. Like it was just my face is red, the movement doesn't look easy, but then it does look easy. It's just a weird, and I think that ultimately that's my training style. Is it's like, it's like a skateboarder grinding an edge down a railing. Like it looks easy, but just you're inches, millimeters from just falling on your face and getting, rearranging everything. My training styles. It's just I like living a little dangerously. That's why I have a fast motorcycle. I always had fast cars. I like training like that. But at 42, it's like I can't rearrange my face in the gym. Well, I mean, physically, I'd like to be in better physical shape. Not, I don't care. The physical representation for me is of not like I want to be like jacked and tan, a hairy, fucking, balding guy. Like I don't, for me, I just like to be, like to represent hard work, and like you can usually tell the guys that train hard because like you just see them train like, veiny. Like it's not a look necessarily. It's just being a tool. Calling myself a tool, but I just like that, But it's also the physical goals are small. I mean, I think for me is being a decent parent and a decent husband, and going to school full time. I got will achieve my bachelor's degree in 2.5 years. Had no credits going into college in October of 2021. I lost my mother-in-law and my mother, in the last handful of years, and so I think my personal goals are, to push myself, mentally and physically. That's one of the reasons why I train with somebody that's nearly 15 years my junior. Sorry, you're more than 15 years old. 26. Yeah, so he's more than 15 years old. Well, actually, it's exactly 15 years old. Yeah. I think that for me, it just pushes me, mentally, and I think for him, it does the same because it's like I'm a little older, and I always ask for the sympathy set. I could do one less set because I'm older.
Yeah. I think works both ways, right? I mean, yeah, he wants to work out with the younger guy, right? I'm just starting bodybuilding. I've done 4 shows and going down that road, so I think it's good for him. It's good for me. I mean, I grew up watching Derek. I mean, I remember when freaking YouTube just came out, watching Derek with his doing the Atlas Stones and pulling a plane, and it was just like, God damn, it doesn't seem human for a person to pull a plane. And that was my first, like, when I was a kid, like, I loved strongman and watching Coleman and those guys. And he was one of those guys to me. I always wanted to do that, something like that. I went to bodybuilding now to get worked out with him, and it's like, if I'm not going to come in here every day and give it 120% because I have the opportunity to work out with him, what the fuck am I doing? I mean, talk about being a waste of time. So every day I'm in here, it's like, I don't care how bad that day was. It's like, give it till I throw up. Because otherwise, it's a waste of his time. It's a waste of mine. It's definitely, I think, been good for both. Definitely better for me.
We've thrown up more.
I have. Yeah.
I almost had a heart attack, I think.
Yeah, you almost had a heart attack a couple times. Literally.
I think that I learned that you can't drink a half gallon of cold water after having a leg workout. That's not.
After you're already pale.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
No.
Body goes into shock. But I mean, I think the workouts we just had, we've had about 100 of those. Literally 100 workouts that are high volume, a lot of pain. But ultimately, what ends up happening is the abnormal, becomes normal. Do something over and over again, until the abnormal becomes normal. Like that seems like this sort of corny tagline, but I can't tell you the last time I had a shitty leg workout. The ones where I thought they would be shitty.
Those are your best ones.
Those are the best ones because I think the expectation's low, and it's just like, what's the plan? I mean, you were asking, Mason, like, what's the plan? I mean, we generally know what we're going to do, and it's going to be an evolution. And the key is just to go till you're done. And my experience has shown me I can't really have a whole lot of expectation. Like I'm going to go in and do 600 pounds for 10 reps. It doesn't work that way. I just got to do what I can do, and then just do it to the best of my ability, and then that's it.
I think that's the thing. Go till you're done, right? That's what I always say to each other. Go till you're done. It doesn't matter 8 reps, 12 reps, 15, 500 pounds. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It's if you're done, if you're truly done with that set and you don't got much more to give, let's back it in, and then you do the next set. I think for Derek getting ready to do whatever squat he's going to do, 900, 1,000. If he hits 1,000, he knows he's not done. He's going to do 1,100. I know. If he's like, I did 1,000, I have more in the tank, I'm not totally done. He's going to do more. And I think that's just the evolution of the plan. It's more or less guidelines. Yeah, he wants to do 1,000 by in a year time frame, whatever it was. But if we exceed that, or if we fall short, whatever it is, then that's where you're done. That's it.